Hello, friends, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots. You can find this episode and everything else we've done on the Fort Worth Roots by going to fortworthroots.com and clicking on episodes or your favorite streaming service. Pandora, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. Also available on YouTube. There are videos associated with almost every single one of these episodes. This one is an exception. We were out and about. We were in the field. And we did not take video this time. There will still be a YouTube version of this, but we went on a trip down to Big Bend National Park, Terlingua, and then out to Marfa, Texas. So we have been in far west Texas for almost a week now. And as I'm recording this intro with you today, we are sitting in Marfa, Texas at a place called El Cosmico. This trip is getting broken down into three parts. The first part is right here on the Fort Worth Roots podcast, but part 2 is going to be with Jerry Jonestown Massacre Podcast, and then part 3 is going to be with Fort Worth Famous. And it's an adventure. We did this 2 years ago, and it was a blast, so we did it again. And I hope that you get a chance to listen to all 3 parts. There might even be a bonus part 4. We're looking forward to seeing how that works out. But what we did is we broke it down into these parts, and we want you to enjoy the adventure of going to Far West Texas with us and exploring these other Fort Worth-based shows. So here's part 1. Part 2 is going to be on JJTM. You can go to YouTube or any of the other streaming services and just look for Jerry Jonestown Massacre Podcast. It is the #1 largest, longest running North Texas podcast, and they do a great show. And that's where you're going to find part 2 of our little trip to Far West Texas. And then part 3 will be with the Fort Worth Famous podcast. And you can look it up as that name, all streaming services. It's a great production. And we were so glad to have these guys with us on our trip to Far West Texas. And inside this episode, we cover the beginning of the trip, going down to Big Bend and everything that we did in the process and all the wildness and all the chaos. And there's a surprise. If you stay tuned to the very end, there's a big announcement. And I hope you do. I hope you stay tuned to the very end. Whenever we do these episodes, we like to highlight one of our sponsors up front, Donovan Manufacturing. You can find them online at donovanmfg.com. Night vision, thermals, machine gun rentals, AR-15 parts, classes, and more. Also under the same umbrella, get all of your print needs through our friends' banners, vehicle wraps, business cards, brochures, T-shirts, and anything else you might need. Find information on the print shop at Facebook at Dylan-Press. Also, you can just email them and tell them what you need. They're local, and they'd love to have your business. Dylan at dylan-press.com. Thank y'all so much for being here. Make sure that you catch part 2 on the Jerry Jonestown Massacre Podcast and part 3 on the Fort Worth Famous Podcast. Thank you so much for being here, and let's start the show.
3, 2, 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots. This is a special edition. We did this about 2 years ago, and we were granted the opportunity to go back down to Big Bend National Park for a second trip. And we got some of the OG homies and a couple of new ones. Let's go around the room real quick, and we'll start with our co-host from the Fort Worth Roots and just work the way around the room. Tell them your name so people can identify your voices.
Y'all know me, co-host, a.k.a. Meg.
My name is Dustin.
My name is Jeremy.
Great. Yes, just no
Aaron.
Details. This is good.
Susie Ramone
Susie,
from
tell
Fort
him.
Worth
There we
Famous.
go. Somebody with some details.
How detailed do you want to get?
How's
I know.
everybody
I
doing tonight?
thought he was going to introduce a little differently.
Well, we got to get into this because we've got a
I'm kind of thrown off.
Why?
Because you said we were granted, like the National Park Service gave us permission to return.
No, like the universe granted us the opportunity.
Oh, okay. That threw me all off. I'm like, did we get kicked out last time?
We should have.
We were afforded the opportunity to come back down to Big Bend.
That's right. Okay. That sounds better than granted. You got me there.
That's true.
So Dustin is the host of the Fort Worth, North Texas longest running podcast, highest paid Jerry Jonestown Massacre Podcast. Jeremy, can we tell him what you specialize in, sir?
He's the executive producer for the Jerry Jonestown Massacre.
I'm the field producer from the Austin division of the JJJM.
The Austin branch.
Excellent. Aaron?
Aaron's the special correspondent out in the field.
Perfect. And Susie was right on point. She told us she's the creator and the producer and the everything for Fort Worth Famous, another podcast out of Fort Worth.
That's right.
And Meg, obviously, the illustrious co-host.
That's right.
So, all right, we got down here on
Friday.
And we set up camp. What was the campground?
It was the
Croton Springs.
Yeah,
Crouton.
Croton Springs.
Crouton.
Which, if you look on Google Maps, says Cotton Springs.
That's hilarious.
Which is very weird.
So it's not the same campsite we had last time, but it was great. We actually had our own private road, and it's kind of like a double campsite that was merged together at some point. So we had a ton of room, and great night sky.
Easy in, easy out, unless you drive a soccer mom minivan.
It's a Chrysler what?
Pacifica.
So these ballers, they came down in 4Runners, and we decided we didn't want to put miles on the Palisade, so we got us a minivan.
We did.
And I would like to encourage everybody out there listening, if you're planning on making a trip to Big Bend, don't do that. You need
Well,
you need high clearance.
The bad thing is you also loaded it down with like 600 pounds of stuff.
Yeah, we had
It's true.
14
Watching-
gallons of water and bottles of water and 2 coolers.
Following y'all today, watching that thing bounce up and down was hilarious.
It's got some
Especially with
bounce.
the piece you have torn off, hanging down off the bottom.
Penis.
That was already there.
I was there. I was already there. I don't know anything about that. Yeah.
No, we heard it from the inside driving. Every time we would hit the brake and the front would dip a little bit, we'd scrape. And I think there's some rocks up in there. We take a turn, you hear them roll around.
So, yeah, it's not the vehicle of choice for Big Ben. But we did have the cargo space, which was good.
It was very comfortable ride for the 8-hour trip down here. But yeah, I would not recommend it for any off-roading, back-roading capabilities.
But we
It's
got...
better than a Mustang.
Yeah.
That is true.
That is
Yeah.
the oddest vehicle we've seen on the back roads.
That
is
was a little
Mustang.
wild.
I don't know if the Mustang was the oddest, was it?
I
Maybe.
Probably
I
the
just I
lowest
can't
ground
imagine.
clearance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I think we give him a run for his money on low ground clearance. It was close. It's a close second. So our first day, we get the camp set up, and then what did we tackle first? Because we didn't just set up camp and call it a day. Where did we go?
What did we do?
What was day one?
It was super cloudy that first night, though. So we didn't.
Yeah, we
I
didn't
think
get to
we
do a lot of
just
star
kind were
washing.
hanging out, weren't we?
I
think
swear to
so.
God, we went somewhere.
We drove the...
Are you about to say River Road?
No.
That was day 2.
Where did we go? Yeah, we didn't go
We
in.
didn't
I
go
don't think we went
anywhere?
anywhere.
No,
Okay.
because we were just kind of getting things set up and got things going,
Cooked out.
cooked out. We were going to go, my idea was to go hit Balance Rock that night, but it was cloudy.
So cloudy.
Mm-hmm.
And because of storms being built to the north of us in Fort Worth and from Fort Stockton all the way up to Fort Worth, we got shafted with the updraft and cloud formations.
That's another thing that we should tell people about. Like, we had a crystal clear weather report. Everything was
we
looking
did.
great.
Mm-hmm.
And that first night, we thought we were going to lose the whole camp.
So windy.
Mine and Meg's tent got pummeled.
Yeah.
It was
Like
still
laying in
standing.
there and it collapses in on you.
It was not pretty.
Trying to keep everything under control while you've eaten your body weight in mushrooms.
Saving the camp.
So it was
Yeah.
it was a wild night.
I don't think the storm actually happened.
Might not have.
I think it was all in our mind.
It did happen.
So the next morning, we got our bearings, and what did we do first? I'm really having trouble recalling what we did first.
Oh, Saturday we went to Boquillas.
That's right. We did the Boquillas crossing.
Saturday was Boquillas.
Yeah, we went to Mexico.
Yeah, we did. We went to first time in Mexico.
Woo.
And they did not stamp our passports.
No, I was so bummed.
I was too. I was so looking forward to having that stamp in my passport.
Me too.
None of us got worms.
That we know of.
Yeah, yet.
It takes a while.
Yep.
They're working their way up to your brain right now from those garbage tamales we had.
Yeah, the
We
food
went to
wasn't
Jose
the best.
Falcons.
Mhm.
And the guy who drove our car told us to go to the other restaurant in town. There's two restaurants.
We should've
There's
listened.
a bar. There's a store. There's a church.
So let's take them step by step. So we go through the border on the U.S. side, and they don't look at our IDs, nothing. They're just like, have fun.
Cross the river. Get
Go
some
for
later.
it.
They did say, "Do you have your passport?"
They asked that, yeah. But
Apparently
they didn't check.
ask everybody.
He did say we could bring cocaine back, which I found really odd.
That was
But
strange.
it had to be in your
Yeah.
butthole. So
I didn't check anything when we came back, so
So we
these
get through
5
that.
keys I brought back.
We make the
I am
walk
rich.
down. It's about what? Not even a quarter mile.
Not even a quarter mile.
No.
And then there's a little river crossing, and you can literally take your shoes off and walk if you want, or you can pay some gentleman, what was it, $5?
Yep.
And he
$5.
load up in this little bitty dinghy, and he will walk you across the river.
It's a little aluminum flat bottom boat.
yeah.
Little dinghy.
All of us
go.
have fished in one at some point of our lives,
No motor.
and he just walked it across because it
15,
only, water
20
only
feet.
goes to your knees.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then from there it's total anarchy. You can grab mules,
Horses.
or horses, or pickup trucks,
Whatever you want.
Or
whatever
what?
you want.
Everything has a different dollar amount.
Yep,
It's $5 for a truck ride,
No, it was 10.
10.
it was 10 for a round trip.
and then it was 15 for the horse.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you got a discount for choosing a donkey or not.
I don't know.
But Jeremy has the best horse story of all
On the
Jeremy.
way up there.
Want to grab your microphone?
You gotta
and talk
use the
about?
mic.
about it. Like, how did all that unfold?
What happened to you, sir?
Because I was the biggest person, they gave me the most ambitious horse. And as we were walking down, I thought that there would be a guide who would lead us all down together.
Incorrect.
And it'd be like a nice little ride where, but then I realized we signed no waivers
Yeah, there were no waivers.
and we received no instructions.
No helmets.
We'll
I heard
take
another.
your money. Hope you make it.
I had another family to say that they were like, "This is the first time we've ever gone on a horseback ride with no helmets."
The guy whistled at me and pointed at a horse and told me to get on it. Oh,
That's
shit.
hilarious.
We already have a wreck.
So as I get on the horse, we're just walking, and I realize my horse is faster than everybody else's horse for no reason at all.
And they don't give you any pointers like, hey, this is how you control your horse.
And the horses don't listen to English, apparently.
No, they only know Spanish.
I guess they're Spanish horses.
They are.
Did you
They're-
start
They're
yelling at it in
Mexican
Spanish?
horses.
English, you know I don't speak Spanish.
At one point, I was trotting along, and I'm having a good time. I'm up in front of everyone. I'm like, this is easy. And about halfway through, it notices another horse by itself, and it wants to
That
catch
little
up.
white horse.
Yeah, it wants to catch up, and it starts speeding up, which is no problem because we're in a good pace. And then it starts running at a group of donkeys, and I'm freaking out. I'm pulling back on the reins. It's not going. It runs and head on and clips a donkey, hits another donkey, and runs me into a wall. Some
You were bloody.
Yeah, you bloodied up.
Yeah.
some little Hispanic girl, 83 pounds,
Came running down the hill.
runs out there. And her family's yelling something in Spanish. She looks at me and sees the blood, and she's like, "Okay," and just grabs a horse, and then ends my
And
troubles.
just manhandled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's
And-
great.
very emasculating and scary at the same time.
Susie and I were standing on the hill watching you run up, and I thought you were one of the guys that worked there to get
We did.
something or something. We really did
because we
we're
we
like,
thought
no
you were
one's gonna be
leading the
running
other
that
horse.
fast.
Yep.
And then you were screaming SOCKS.
If you spell socks really fast, it sounds like you know Spanish.
Everybody knows that joke, dude.
Okay, well, I just heard about it.
I like.
That was actually my first time hearing that.
New to me.
See?
So was that the same little girl that brought you the tissue too to wipe your leg?
Yeah,
with?
she brought me a tissue and a wet wipe because she felt bad for me. No.
Walk it off.
So awesome.
Do you think she was worried you were going to sue?
She didn't want that 1-star Google review.
Yeah.
So we get the horses put up. So now we're in Boquillas, and it's only what, half-mile ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get there, and we didn't know at first, but apparently the guy that led us over
was our guide.
was our guide for the day.
I thought he was just some creepy dude following you around.
I
wanting you to buy
didn't.
Stuff
I
from
thought
him.
he was trying really hard to get me to go to his wife's shop because he mentioned it like a dozen times.
That's probably one of the benefits they get
Yeah.
for whoever takes that group of people. Like you could take them to.
Yeah. So then we just decided to walk into the first restaurant.
He was like our guide?
Yeah.
We didn't know we had a guide.
We didn't have a guide. Our guide just threw us
Our
out in the
guide
truck.
was your guide.
Our guy asked us, what time do you want me to come pick you guys back up? And then the truck was there, but he was not.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all looked like broke gringos. He's like, nah, it's all right. Just tell me when you're ready to go
I
back.
guess I'm the only
My
one that
guide
heard
watched
that
me almost
conversation.
die.
Yeah, as we're getting on the horses and in the truck, I hear the guy's like, "Oh, this will be the person that'll take care of you for today."
Oh, I had no idea.
So,
Oh,
So
it's a replay.
let's tell them about the
So
restaurant
we totally
that
thought
we went
that
to.
guy was just following you
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Right. I did too.
he was our chaperone.
Well, if you've
We had a chaperone. Why didn't he take care of us in that restaurant then?
Well, he tried to. He tried to get us to go to the other one. Apparently, I didn't know.
Oh,
that.
our driver did.
our driver did.
Oh, okay. So we go into this restaurant. It's a cute little spot. It's got a great overlook of the valley.
Yeah, it was a great view.
Everything
the
is purely
canyon.
Mexico. When you think of Mexico, everything looks and smells
Looks like it.
like Mexico.
But I swear to God, that was straight Tex-Mex.
It was
It
straight
destroyed his
Tex-Mex.
car.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in the food. I was hoping for some really good, like authentic, like flavorful Mexican, and it just missed.
Yeah, was not good. Service was shit. Dustin never got his last beer, right?
No, I never got my first
margarita.
margarita
Till the very end.
until the very end. Just kept getting.
And we kept asking
Did you
for
ever
chips
get your
and
second
salsa.
beer?
No.
Jeremy
Okay,
never
it was
got
Jeremy
a second
then.
beer.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
Asking for chips and salsa. Every other table's getting chips and salsa, not us.
We had like 3 different guys there too.
it was an experience, I guess.
And then every time you walk out a door, you have a little child running up to you,
Yep.
trying
Trying
to sell you
a
these
bracelet.
cute little friendship bracelets for $5.
Yeah.
Back in the days of Cancun and Cozumel, when you walked out of a restaurant, you'd have a group of kids running up to you going, "Chicle, chicle, $5. Chicle, chicle, $5."
Really?
Because they'd be trying to sell you gum. So I guess the bracelets are the new gum.
Yeah. Well, and then so we started to peruse the stores after we got out of the restaurant, and we quickly noticed that every single one of the vendors had the exact same shit.
Yep.
And it does look handmade, but I don't think they handmade it. I think they got it from Temu.
I think some of the stuff is handmade. So when we finally made it up to our guide, his wife's little stall, she did have something on like a hoop where she was hand embroidering something. So I think some of the stuff is, but yeah.
Nothing
Most
I
of it-
saw.
It's like a beach town. When you're at a beach town, you walk into all the beach shops, and they all have the exact same T-shirt,
Right.
the exact same stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what it's kind of like. They all have the exact same crap.
Well, and I noticed with the menu prices and everything over there, I think that I had the impression that everything in Boquillas was going to be really cheap. And the menu prices were
No.
American prices. And the stuff that they're selling is
Tariffs.
ha. The only tariffs were the $5 boat rides and the $15 donkeys.
I mean, when you
Tariffs.
think about like how much we like in the grand scheme of things compared to like some of the stuff that you could go and spend money on to do, you know, but in the conversion from US to pesos, the $5 a piece for the boat ride, $15 for the horse ride, $10 for the truck ride, $5 for a bracelet, they really
They
make
make
a
bank.
killing.
I told you
Yeah.
it's all a front.
Yeah.
It's all a front. If we
Go
would've-
over the mountain.
If we would have
Yeah.
gone over the mountain, we would have seen lush greenery, a giant
Mansions.
golf course with mansions, all these huge houses and stuff. That's where they really live.
Yeah.
It's
They're all
fake.
paid actors.
It's all grayed out on Google Maps. You can't see it. But yeah.
So it was an experience. Susie, would you go back? Do you feel the desire to go back to Bukias ever again?
No.
It's not as cool as some of the other border towns.
Aaron, what do you think?
I wouldn't go back.
Jeremy?
Jeremy.
I'd try the other restaurant.
There you go.
I'd ride a mule instead of a horse.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys did get drinks and a shot at that little cantina, right?
The bar literally only had tequila, Jack, and one beer, right? One beer or 2 beers.
And,
That's it.
and it was weak. The margaritas, the tequila, I did not catch a buzz at all.
I think our margaritas I think it's all water and flavor. There's no good.
There was no alcohol in it.
No.
Wine based.
Like the margaritas we had tonight, I felt them.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Those margaritas
really
that
good.
Jose, what's his name?
Falcone.
No, I didn't feel shit off that.
Yeah. All right, so we get done with all that. We head
we
back.
went into the little store, and Dustin bought me a bell ornament and a little bottle of Mexican vanilla, probably
Ooh, I don't know.
4
Don't
ounces.
supposed to
Incriminate
say
yourself,
that.
girl.
Yeah, because now she's an international smuggler.
It was wild. I don't think the IRS, who is it, will be listening.
IRS.
Border Patrol,
Border Patrol.
Immigration,
Customs. Border Patrol.
U.S. Customs.
They're not going to care.
Nah.
They cared when they took the other lady's vanilla.
So yeah. So coming back into the U.S.
Go on.
Oh my gosh, it
That
was
was
a
a mess.
nightmare.
'Cause
There
we
was a
had idiots.
family ahead of us that did not bring passports
For the
and
children.
Some people brought IDs. Some people had
Birth certificate.
birth certificates. One person had their passport and she was let right through, but the rest of them were all sitting and waiting. And Jeremy and Aaron were able to get through pretty. This family was holding everybody up, but they were able to kind
Jeremy paid them off.
of yeah.
So the agents were having to deal with that and trying to figure out how to get this lady's kids back into the U.S. because
And it was hot.
Yeah.
And there was one lady, and it was busy because it was the end of the day.
Yeah.
well,
And there's only
Aw,
2
poor
stations, and somebody was explaining it to us. So they're park rangers or something, and they're filling also the role of pseudo border patrol. And those kiosks are
And
connected to a main hub. So anything that gets in has to go to that hub. The people that they were talking to.
That's in El Paso.
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass.
Damn it, Elon.
So it's really slow.
So when we got to the kiosk, the family was getting on a phone call with El Paso
Yeah.
or whatever, and they were having to verify who the kids were, who their siblings were.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
What school? She asked what school do you guys go to? It was so wild. And then but their phone call to wherever it was, El Paso, held up our re-entry into the U.S. because
Yeah.
It's like
It's the same person doing it.
early 2000s AOL dial-up internet where you're like, I can't get on if you're
It's
on the
wild.
phone.
It is a remote national
the
park.
second lady went and got a third iPad
She
and
did.
just started processing people through
Yeah, we
fast.
got through really quick on that one.
Yeah.
So it took 30 seconds to go into Mexico through that checkpoint.
It took an hour.
30
It was
hours.
an hour.
An hour.
It was an
to get
hour to
back.
get through for us.
So also something you should know when traveling to
Yeah.
Bukias.
Which screwed up our time because we had other shit we wanted to do.
Yeah. So
And what did we end up doing after that? Going to the basin?
We went to the basin, yep,
Got ice cream.
We got ice cream.
got ice
Yeah.
cream sandwich.
and got some ice.
And then we headed back to
Headed
camp.
back to camp.
Now, before we skid past the basin, for people that haven't been to Big Bend, every time you turn a corner, it's a different environment. There's something crazy to see
You've got Mars.
literally every time you turn a corner. But the basin is unique because you go way up in elevation and you start seeing pine trees and cedars, and it starts looking like Colorado rather than the desert.
But it's Colorado with the desert mixed in.
Yeah.
Because you did still see cactus and ocotillo and all that mixed in with the evergreens, the
It's
cedars,
really
and
unique.
all that.
You're over a mile high
Mm-hmm.
when you're in the basin. And Emery Peak is 7,800 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it's a 2,000-foot climb.
So you
out of
get
the
up there,
basement.
the weather's different, the wind is different, everything is changed whenever you get to that side of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So from there we left and went back to camp, right? Took our ice back to the house and
We had dinner.
mm-hmm.
And then we drove out to
Mule ears.
Soto.
Oh,
Vista.
that's right.
Where we saw-
Soto Vista.
a dumb little kid picking up rocks and throwing them.
So
We
we
were
It was-
assaulting
throwing 'em
this
off the-
cacti.
It was
Yeah.
free entry into the park
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, so they just let
All the riffraff in.
a bunch of riffraff.
it was crazy.
Oh,
so many
the
people at
riffraff.
the park.
So all these people are complaining about these kids throwing rocks and breaking cactus and plants and stuff.
Like, where are your parents?
And we're all talking about it. And the dad is standing right next to us.
I was like, where are the parents to these kids? Like, roll out.
And the people in front of us were like, we don't think they have any, because they'd been doing it for quite a while. And it's not like the parents nobody was trying to stop them at all.
No.
Well, and I could see me as, what were those kids? Probably 7, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could
probably.
see me
probably.
doing that as a kid, but the parents need to step in and be like, hey, you want
Yeah.
your ass beat?
So you were an
Stop.
asshole as a kid?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
That makes sense.
All right, so we get back down from Soto Vista,
We go to Mule Ear.
and we made it to Mule Ear.
But in between Soto Vista and Mule Ears, all our phones blow up with an
Oh,
alert
yeah.
that says there's an incoming dust storm, and that it will be there at 8 o'clock and go through 10 o'clock.
Get off the
Right.
road.
Get off the road, turn off your headlights, stop everything you're doing, and hide.
The young, elderly, and infirm will probably die.
Hold your breath.
Cover up all your air intakes.
Here it comes.
Yep.
It's coming.
Clench your butthole.
But it's
We're
still
in-
perfectly clear outside.
Perfectly clear. So we continue on to Mule Ears because I want to shoot stars. That's the whole reason I came. So we get out there, we set up, start shooting some stars.
Mhm.
We're hanging out for a little bit, having fun,
It's some really awesome
chilling out,
photos.
get some awesome photos. We're having a good time.
Tell them about the convoy.
Convoy.
Oh, yeah.
Then we look up. This is mind blowing. We're looking up at the stars, watching, and the sun had just set. And so, for those that aren't familiar with being in a good place where you can see stars, when the sun sets, you can see satellites because the sun is reflecting off of them still, and you can see them passing over. So we're watching all these different satellites cross, and there's a lot.
They're crisscrossing the galaxy.
Crossing
All over.
the sky. Then all of a sudden, this train of satellites that are about 4 to 5 degrees apart start passing over.
And you pick one out and you go, hey, that one's got one right behind it.
Yeah.
Hey, that one's got one right
They're
behind it.
all following each other.
Hey, there's
Yeah.
more
And you're
coming
looking
behind that.
over to the west where the sun is setting, and it's like, and they're spawning out of there, and it's just like one after another. It just went on forever.
We counted probably about 40 before we got tired of counting.
Or before the sun finally went down far enough where
Yeah.
we couldn't see them anymore.
Yeah.
And it was Skylink. Or Starlink or whatever.
Starlink.
Mhm.
Starlink. So, just to fast forward real quick, the next night, we did the same thing, and the same thing happened, except they were spaced further apart, and they had dropped in latitude and gone down. Or longitude. Longitude. They dropped in longitude. So, it was
Yeah.
wild.
As Andrew explains, we're moving, the universe is moving, the planet is moving,
I don't understand
Galaxy.
how
World
he
is-
just discovered this, because this was a basic thing I learned in like 6th grade.
we're
Everything
hurtling
is
towards
fucking
the unknown.
He didn't say that. He said that it's been blowing his mind recently.
What's the?
But you should have had your mind blown in 7th grade.
It's the most
What did
important
you just
space
find?
fact.
What's that? What's the fact?
Okay, so the space fact that blows my mind is that the planet is spinning on its axis at incredible neck break speeds. It's rotating around the sun at even faster speeds, and our entire galaxy is moving in a certain direction also at neck break speeds. And the part that really scares the shit out of me is that out of our entire night sky, there's 20% of it that we can't see because of a cloud of dust. I think it's called the Oort cloud.
I thought it was the opposite. We can only see 20%. There's 80% we can't see.
It's the ice wall.
Is that right?
Yeah. We can only see
80% we can't see, dude. That is wild. That is
Well,
infinite.
fact check. Anyway, the portion that we can't see is in the direction that our galaxy is headed. So we're moving really fast in all these different ways, but where we're headed, we can't
Nobody
see.
knows.
Taking a couple of those times today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Going over a hill on River Road.
All right. So anyway, we're sitting there. We're watching
I wasn't
this.
feeling so hot, so I went and laid down in the car.
Someone's mushrooms kicked in.
Yep, it's true.
And so we're watching Starlink fly over, and I'm kind of moving around, getting shots of different things, and I finally line up to shoot like Orion's direction, and
Which is to the kind of the southwest of us.
so
We've been facing east.
So I'm sitting there shooting, and we keep looking over our shoulder because we can see the dust cloud coming, and we see it building, and even in the pitch darkness, you can still see the dust cloud coming because it's just blacking out all the stars to the far west. And so we're sitting there, and I'm watching, and I'm looking at my phone at where some stuff should be aligned and what's going on, and I look back up, and I'm watching, and all of a sudden, these stars we've been seeing crystal clear just start fading away.
Just disappearing into the void.
And I was like, uh-oh, it's time to go, guys.
At the same time, Andrew and I are sitting there, and we hear the wind coming
It just starts picking up.
behind us. And we look over, and we're like, same thing. It's time to go.
So no sooner had Dustin gotten all of his highly expensive, very excellent camera gear inside of the truck, Dustin got in the driver's seat, Meg got in the back, and I was running around the truck, and that's when it hit, and I almost couldn't get the door open. It hit so hard. And so the entire ride back, we were 100% convinced that when we got back to the campsite, everything was going to be obliterated. The
Yeah.
tents, the pavilions, our
Gone.
grills, our tables, everything.
We couldn't
Yeah.
see further than 20 feet in front of the truck.
No, it was
Yeah.
insane.
No, it was
I've never
crazy.
The
experienced
wind
something
was
like that.
shaking the truck the entire way down.
Just sand blasting
And
everything.
there were people pulled over just like trying to wait it out.
Mm-hmm.
And here we were
trucking.
just getting after it.
Because
And then-
why? I have a Toyota,
Yes.
and they're built tough.
Tough as
Ford
hell.
tough. I mean, Toyota,
Toyota tough. Yeah.
So when I was in the truck, like sleeping, something like shook the truck and woke me up, and I like went to like look out the window, like I sat up to look out, and I was altered, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" But then the truck like shook again, and all of a sudden, you guys were opening all the doors, throwing things in the truck, getting in, turning it on. And Dustin was like, what if all of the zombies start walking out of the dust clouds as soon as I turn on these lights? And I was like too scared. I was like, don't
This
talk
is
like
not the
that.
time for this, Dustin.
I was like, please don't talk like that.
So as we're driving and leaving, my mind, in its little altered state, turns into a like Sin City. In my head, the entire scene in the truck, the entire road turns into Sin City. And my fantasy is that the zombies do come out, and Susie reaches into the glove box, and pulls out both pistols and just starts dual wielding, shooting
Yeah.
zombies in the head.
Because I'm that tough.
Yeah.
Yep. Double tap.
As Meg reaches behind the back seat and
Samurai
pulls
sword.
out the TB9
Oh.
and just starts popping people as we're driving by.
I was hoping for the sword.
And you're stabbing people with a Swiss Army knife.
With the scissors?
Yeah, with the scissors out. And it was totally, what's his name?
It was such
Sin
a
City. Frank,
wild
what's his name?
ride back. And we're watching the weather, and we're seeing that tornadoes are happening at home.
Yeah. At
so
the same time, like service is super spotty
Yeah.
out there.
almost
and
non-existent.
on the way back, I got a text message from one of my friends at home, and it was like, oh, Weatherford, Texas, a tornado is approaching, and it headed towards like my parents' house and our house.
My family's land.
I know, we're all freaking
It's
out.
like- it picked up like 2 blocks from their land.
So yeah, we finally got a map pulled up, and literally from far west Texas all the way up to DFW into Oklahoma. There's just this massive storm front moving through. And so we go up to the visitor center to use
Junction.
to use their Wi-Fi and get a hold of people. And we were still having issues getting a hold of folks.
Yeah.
So we got all that going on. We're freaking out about the people at home. And
let's be honest. We went up to Panther Junction because people needed to poop.
I couldn't get it out. Didn't work. So we finally make it back to the campsite, and right as we crest the hill, we're buttholes clenched. We're like, damn, this is going to be awful.
Yeah.
And everything was upright. The tent, the pavilions, the tables, the grill, everything was fine.
It was
Hey,
barely
Jeremy,
windy.
you guys didn't fix anything? When you pulled up?
Oh, not at all. No,
No,
nothing got touched.
nothing.
So crazy.
Considering that the night before, the camp did almost blow away.
Yeah.
With us doing everything we possibly could to
Holding
keep it
the
in
pavilions down by hand, taking
Yeah.
the tops off so that they wouldn't act like giant
Watching
kites.
the paper towel unfurl.
place. Yeah.
By the way, if you have a paper towel roll, it can unfurl itself in the wind in exactly half a second.
But it's crazy
He was in
because
10th.
listening to what you guys talk about the last time that you were out there, a very similar
Wind event.
happened.
Yep.
So
Yeah. And it was like I was like too scared. I was up in the tent in the top of the truck. So I'm on the top of the truck. The wind is whipping everything. And Dustin kept going, "You can get down if you want to." And I was like, I'm too scared. Like I'm just going to stay up here. And so the next night coming home to absolutely no destruction after driving through that dust storm was crazy.
Pretty wild.
What the heck is this?
there's a car.
Oh, I thought it
driving.
was a spaceship.
And there was a rough night ahead of us. I mean, the wind was still kind of blowing, and
Yeah.
everything got covered in dirt. But then after it all stopped, it was a really nice night.
Yeah, it was super
Cool
still
outside.
and quiet.
cooled off.
Yeah.
Just a lot of dust in the air.
Yeah.
So, and then so the next morning we cooked up some breakfast,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Made some coffee, and then we
Hit the river road.
hit River Road. We hit it hard.
That was awesome.
Well, whoa.
What?
Before we hit River Road, we went on a little hike to Lower Burrow Canyon.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
And that was a place I'd never been. I saw it on the map. And
the
I was like,
Lower Burrow Pour Over is
Yeah.
what it's called.
and I was like, that seems like an easy walk. There's an upper version that's a hard hike. But I was like, let's check this out because this looks cool. Plus, I'd rather be at the bottom looking up and checking it all out.
And it was a
instead of
mile
just,
one way?
hanging over the edge going, what's it look like?
I think it was a mile round trip.
Yeah, mile round trip.
Okay. Not a terrible hike.
No, not a
really,
terrible hike.
really beautiful
Mhm.
rock structures, and
You get in all these canyons, and you end up in a box canyon that, when it rains, turns into a giant waterfall.
yeah, we got Jeremy to scale the side like a Spider-Man.
Got sexy photos too.
Oh yeah.
His calves were popping,
Yep,
Yeah.
nips were hard.
He looked great.
and we had a couple other stops on the way, but we probably about what
Tough canyon.
I think
Ooh, Tough Canyon was cool.
we got into River Road at right about noon 30.
No, it's
No.
12:56, 12:57.
Yeah, it was almost one.
Yeah.
Okay,
And this is what I don't get. Park rangers say you can do River Road in 2 hours.
No way.
Lies.
it's not possible.
You can do it in 2 hours if you're doing
80.
50, 60. If you're in a Subaru or Ford rally car.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can
But
get through there
even
in
then,
2 hours.
I don't know that it's physically possible. 2 hours? I
That's
just don't
ridiculous.
think so. I don't think so. It took us what, 4 and a half?
Well, we also stopped
We
for an
did
hour,
stop, yeah.
So
But-
that doesn't count. So take that off.
But travel time.
travel time took us freaking forever. What was it? 3 hours?
At least. At
Yeah.
least. Probably more.
And we weren't taking it easy.
What does
No.
Google Maps show?
We weren't being crazy, but
No,
we weren't
we were
being
rallying
conservative
whenever we
either.
could.
Yeah.
Someone would start yelling rally.
Rally, rally, rally.
As soon as we saw the road
Straighten
be
out a
kind of
little
straighten
bit.
out a little bit, and
Yeah.
there weren't too many potholes or anything. Ooh, dude, you guys, today we hit a jump, and we the
Oh, yeah.
truck.
I felt the shocks bottom out and was
Yeah.
like, oh, no.
It was awesome.
Was that still in the park or?
Yeah, it was on that Maverick.
Maverick.
Anyway.
But that was really cool. You get to see so many different terrain changes, and we saw
Chevy
some.
Traverse.
There was a
that was wild.
freaking Chevy Traverse out there that did not belong on that course.
The old guy by himself?
Yeah.
No, his wife was with him.
Yeah.
They were out there rutting.
Yeah.
We know it. We just know it.
The ones from the campsite.
Or looking for meth.
I don't know where they were from.
But the whole rest of the ride.
Oh yes.
That,
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
coming back from River Road.
That was coming back from River Road, wasn't it?
What?
When the people were at our campsite and they
Yeah.
were
Oh yeah.
Some older
The-
people
the
acting
hot spring?
super suspicious when we came around the corner.
I dildos.
So we got to see some cattle out there on River Road. We saw some wild
horses.
some horses. What else did we see out there?
Bunch of Ocotillo.
Ocotillo, yeah.
Yeah. We
Yep.
didn't see any snakes.
No,
Nope.
not the entire
but a
trip.
surprising amount of flies.
So many flies.
Got to see Megan squat in a creek.
You did.
I did.
None of the rest of us were watching.
We all did.
But it's such an interesting drive. We saw a big fire like that had happened. We don't know when, but
The remnants of a fire. Yeah.
the remnants of a fire. The trees were just black and burned, and
Had to be 50 acres, right?
yeah, we pulled over to the side of the road and looked down the river. It was right next to the river, right?
It was.
Yeah.
And just black trees as far as I could see. It was wild. That was
Yeah.
pretty dang crazy.
And then we stopped off
Wild
at
horses.
Yeah,
Yep,
we saw
wild
wild
horses.
horses.
Can we talk about all the wildlife we've seen? We've seen coyotes.
We saw some coyotes.
Yep.
Susie and I saw a bobcat.
Yep.
Oh, I missed the.
We saw a roadrunner.
I was stalked
Lots of
by
roadrunners.
a predator cat.
No,
Yep.
you weren't.
No, I was not. Turns out Dustin just snores like a predator cat.
I made friends.
It
with
could have been
crows.
me.
Get over it.
You know, we're not
Oh
talking
yeah.
about vanilla.
Yes, Megan made friends with
We're not talking about
crows.
crows.
I was hoping they would bring her gifts this morning.
They came back this morning, but we were breaking down. I didn't have time to go over there.
So,
If you're at Big Ben, don't feed the animals.
so we do the river road. We get done. And everybody wanted to go to the hot springs.
Yes.
So it was
Because
a
we were beat
bathhouse
up,
back in the day.
but we didn't tell them about our lunch.
Our lunch. Oh no, we didn't. Go ahead.
We had lunch
I forgot
at
about the mine.
the is that Lost Mines?
It's not Lost Mine.
What do you call it?
It's just the Quicksilver Mine. It was
Quicksilver
Big
Mine?
Bear Mine, something.
It's really
on the
cool.
map.
It's really cool. So in 1942, they built this giant manufacturing facility to refine cinnabar ore, which they get mercury and quicksilver from. And I don't know about quicksilver, but mercury is something that they used in the
the
war
same.
effort. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so in 1942, they stood that thing up, and I think it only lasted a few years, and then they shut it all down. So
But out-
it's just this really impressive, very randomly placed structure with
And the housing for the people who were working there.
Yeah.
and the housing. And you can go up there and you can kind of look into the closed up mines, and it's just a cool little spot.
Yep.
So River Road is 50.7 miles long.
Damn.
Did not realize that.
And it is all
Yeah.
choppy and
And it takes
crazy
hours.
elevations
Yeah.
and twists and turns. And
Yeah.
it's pretty wild. Okay, where were we?
We were
Hot Springs.
Hot Springs.
Going to the hot
Lunchtime
springs.
and Hot Springs.
Yeah.
Oh, and the average time I'm looking at through here is 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about
That
right.
sounds
Yeah.
more accurate. Yeah. 2 is insane.
Had a 2022 4Runner TRD Pro and never got it out of two-wheel drive.
Oh.
Bullshit.
You could do it.
We could have done it in two-wheel drive.
Yeah. I thought that we did do it in 2-wheel drive, and then later Dustin told me he'd switched it to 4-wheel.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Just
we're
made it easier.
pretty beat up because it's a task and it hurts. So we stopped off at Hot Springs.
Yep.
Got to see some cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Some
Which
titties.
was in the 1920s. When did that guy?
I'd have to look back at it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
about right.
remember. It was
1920s.
it lined up. It was a little bit before.
I want to say
when the mine was
1914,
built,
but
so
yeah.
20s, 30s, 40s.
So a guy found the hot springs and was like, I can make money here.
Mhm.
So he built a bathhouse. And he said that he went into that hot water for 21 days straight and he was cured. Healing waters, cured of all ailments.
Yep.
What ailments did he have to begin with?
I don't know.
Let's be for real.
Arthritis?
Constipation.
Oh, yeah. Constipation, arthritis.
Syphilis, and it's still in the waters.
Yep.
It did work for you.
Yep. And he what else did he have? Dementia? Some other things. So, yeah.
So you get to get in the hot springs. It's the old foundation for the bathhouse. The bathhouse is no longer there, but the foundation is, and the hot water is still coming up through the foundation. So you can sit in that and bathe in the spring waters, and then just jump in the river, jump in the Rio.
Yep.
It was a gathering place for Native Americans, but of course a rich white guy had to kick them all out.
Thanks, Elon.
Typical.
Sounds about right. So that was cool. We didn't stay very long. We were probably maybe an hour.
Yeah, and it was really crowded. There were a lot of people there. But one of the cool things too about on your walk down to the hot springs or back, or whichever way you're going, but there are some Native American petroglyphs,
or
pictographs.
Yeah.
What?
Graffiti.
Yeah.
It's I think they call it pictographs, right?
It's history. It's
Pictographs?
not
Because
graffiti.
Native Americans couldn't respect the land and had to draw all over everything.
Well, it was their
That's-
land.
Dustin.
I'm just saying, those would be some cool cliffs to look at if
Wasn't for
they
all
didn't
that.
have all that weird graffiti all over it.
Didn't have any paper.
Really, really cool
If
to
I
look
wanted to
at.
see that, I'd go to New York.
Dustin.
Some old buildings down there. Palm trees, giant
Yeah.
palm trees,
Yeah.
which is weird because you're in the desert and then there's palm trees.
Those were imported. That is something on one of the boards.
Oh,
I think
really?
the ones right in front of that big bush of palm trees
Uh-huh.
is that they did bring them in
I don't-
for
yeah.
the hot spring resort.
I don't think that any palm trees in this area are naturally occurring.
Well,
Dude, have you
there
been
is.
to Palmetto State Park?
We're-
We established that yesterday.
But that's,
I forgot.
But that's not here.
No. Dugout Wells is a natural palm tree.
Oh yeah, Dugout Wells
They
too.
grew
I
out
feel
there.
like we saw
Okay.
some palm trees
We
kind
did.
of scattered throughout.
All over the place.
Yeah.
So maybe naturally occurring. Okay, you win.
Yep.
So then after that, back to the casa.
Yeah.
Y'all out?
All right.
Well, it's been fun.
Good
Are y'all going
night.
night night? Or are y'all going to go look at stars?
A little bit of both, but probably night.
Okay.
Good night.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Night.
Later.
And then there were 4.
And then there were 4.
Okay.
No,
Okay, we
no. We love Aaron.
Jeremy wants us to talk bad about Erin, but we won't because we like her.
Yeah.
We'll talk bad about
We'll talk
Jeremy.
shit on him though.
Yeah,
I know,
talk shit on Jeremy.
He stinks.
Boo.
She's the best.
So that was it for the night, right? We back?
We went back.
We were
tried
planning
to
on.
shower.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Box,
that
box.
was a
Verstappen, box,
1
box.
star out of 5 shower facilities.
So
here at
every
the national park.
every state park I've ever
Oh,
been
come
to has excellent shower options.
Excelente.
Not this park, not Big
And
Ben.
I don't understand it. It's a beautiful, awesome national park. And
right there.
For some reason, they just
it's
skimp on showers.
showers for all the people that visit here. And like when I got gas this morning, when we were all at the gas station, that's what one of the guys that was at the pump across from me was griping about too.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we tried to get a shower. We got to drive back to Austin stinky because we tried to get a shower yesterday and they were all shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the thing. It's like you pay how much to get into the park for 7 days? It's like $30-some.
$30 for
And then the
truck
campsite
pass.
fees that we pay.
60.
And I mean, there's a shower, and it was $2 for 5 minutes, and they were the crustiest,
Yeah.
stinky showers.
0 stars.
Yeah, would not recommend.
So, I mean, I love Big Ben National Park, but dude, what's with the showers?
Well, maybe that's one thing they're going to fix with this 2 years they're spending on the.
But all that's
Basin.
going to be in the Chisos Basin. We weren't even there, were we?
No.
No, but you can still drive in there and take a shower.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's something they're going to
Next 2
fix.
years.
Who knows? There is a lot of weird stuff at this park that needs to be fixed and upgraded and taken care of.
Outside of the showers, what?
Restroom facilities need to be way bigger in different parts of the park instead of just one hole or two holer.
Yeah.
Panther
I agree.
Junction, that should be built out, and then put showers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody goes
Yeah,
there. Put
for
showers
sure.
there.
Yeah.
It looks like they're remodeling the gas station now.
Whatever that
But
means.
I
right?
think that somewhere near every trailhead, I know you can't probably do all of them, but there should be a bathroom of some sort.
I feel like most of them that we went to did. I mean, they're just like a glorified outhouse that stank, but
Yeah. So most of the toilets in the park are just a building with a toilet, and the poo just drops into a hole, and
an
it
outhouse.
stinks. Yeah, it's an outhouse.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
It's just a big
put some air
glorified outhouse.
fresheners in there. Put that on the comment card.
yeah.
And that's one of the things that the neighbor here, Big Bend Ranch State Park, a lot of people say is way better than National Park is the restroom facilities.
And they say that they stay at the state park and then just drive into the national park for the day.
We're gonna go check that out tomorrow. Just go check it out. But
Yeah.
I pitched the idea that we might consider next trip staying at the
on the
state
land I
park
purchased.
or on the land that Dustin purchases.
Yeah. Now I'm
As long
not
as you have a
going
good
to-
bathroom.
I'm not guaranteeing any facility right off the bat.
Well,
so you're gonna have to figure that out.
I guess
Basically,
you
just
and
another hole in the ground.
And
guess
the other
you and
problem
Big
is-
Ben can just
If I have
marry
a
each other.
facility built and there's no one down here all the time to take care of it, it'll probably fill up with rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
So,
That's a fun poop.
yep. Hamilton box.
So we were. Oh, and by the way, if anybody's wondering what that bullshit in the background is when Dustin's talking about box and racing references, he's watching Formula One while we're doing this recording. So that's
Yeah,
what that
I don't-
shit's all about.
I don't understand your hate about it when everybody fucking watches this now.
I don't know anybody but you that watches it.
I don't understand it.
Half of fucking Fort Worth that you have on your show watches this now. And
I mean,
you
is
hang
that
out.
true? Is that true?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen.
There-
Yeah.
In fact, there's a fucking. Ooh, I lost my headphones. I was gonna sit up here.
Oh, you're sitting on a microphone.
You're sitting on a microphone.
Speaking of which, there's a big party on May 4th.
Okay.
May the
Now
force
this
be
is all about Formula One. Now let's go.
No.
Let's talk about it.
Plus, you've been saying box all day, not knowing what the hell it meant.
I knew what it meant. It's just
What
fun to
does it mean?
say.
What does it
You're
mean?
trying to call your car into the pit.
Okay, good. You got that right.
I
So?
know my car better than you do.
And
Anyway.
I think you're just jealous that you're not in the big.
So let's vote, guys. Y'all let us know in the comments. Do you give a shit about Formula One?
Dude,
Well, first of all, you
dude,
got
Oscar Piastri is going to win me a lot of money this season.
that's what you're mad about is you're not in this big pool that we built.
No, I don't want to be in your pool. I was in your spa earlier and you peed in it.
I mean, there's $500 on the line.
All right, so let's get back into it. We were going to go to Balance.
$500 is a lot of money
Rein it in.
for 10 people.
This is what happens. So Balance Rock was
You
on
brought
the-
it up. You wanted to talk about it.
Well, I just thought people should know what these random comments are you're making. That
don't-
we don't have a camera going, so they can't see what you're doing.
Well, and you don't have to highlight it.
Okay.
All sorts of shit gets said on our show that's never highlighted. People just sit there and go, what?
All right, Matt. All right, Matt. Matt.
I haven't said the C word yet.
Okay. So Balance Rock, that was on the agenda that day. We were going to head over there, but
Yep.
Yeah. After
We
the
were-
bathrooms and the shower fiasco.
we were beat. And after River Road, and it was an ass beating of a day. So,
Yeah. Plus, by the time we got back, I mean, we wanted to go for sunset.
yeah.
and it was already like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
The problem is time slips away from you so
Yes.
fast here.
It
Even
does.
though you try to tell everyone, we need to go. We need to go. We need to get this going.
And we were hustling, man. We really weren't slacking. I don't feel like.
But it was still like the Bukias thing. I mean, it got hot
Yeah.
Yeah.
coming back, and that was one of the things.
Well,
that
that was that
we
really
needed to get
screwed
there
up our
early.
schedule.
And we didn't.
Yeah.
Well, and part of that was the night before. We had to go through chaos,
Yeah.
and we
yeah.
kind of didn't get started with
People
our day until
people were falling
the door
asleep as the sun was rising. That's how
Yeah.
chaotic it was.
100%.
Yeah.
I was one of those. So, not entirely our fault. The weather was not helping us. It made for some really rough nights. So,
But we had our first clear night.
Yeah.
Was
One.
last night. Last night.
Yeah, last
Sunday
night.
The whole fucking reason I came down here.
So we decided to stay. We were
I
all
got shit to
beat.
sell.
Dustin set up a couple of cameras.
Yep.
But
and
then
you said it was tracking perfectly that night.
One of them was. The other one.
there was some ambient light. It was weird.
Well, and it's one of those things like, if you're not in front of something cool, shooting.
I
stars,
liked that rock formation.
but it doesn't. You like it, but
Oh.
I can't sell it.
True.
I can't make
You're right.
money off of it.
You're right.
And that's the point of coming down here, is getting in front of cool shit, taking pictures with stars and all that, and people freaking out and being like, "I want to buy that."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's was my goal coming down here, and
Mother
the first 2
Nature
nights screwed us.
messed.
So after Formula One season, we'll be making another trip down here
It'll
to.
be too
Does it
hot.
ever end?
Too hot.
We'll
Oh no,
At
well,
end.
that ends in December.
Oh yeah.
so perfect.
So anyway, so Dustin and Andrew stayed up for a little bit and hung out. I climbed up into the little nest,
And it was so nice. It was so cold.
and it was
There was no wind.
quiet. Yeah.
It's perfect.
So we have these blankets. I brought a blanket because I thought it was going to be warmer. I thought, like, at night, I thought it was going to be warmer. So I bought a cooling blanket. And first night,
Which is just a marketing ploy, right? We talked about this.
It's just the weave of the blanket,
But it doesn't
Yeah.
have refrigerant running through it
No. It really is. They have figured out,
through
the-
science.
yeah,
And
the weave
witchcraft.
of the blanket so that, like, you know, if your blanket will warm up to your body temperature, and you just move a little, and the next part of the blanket is cold. Like it's supposed to regulate your heat, like, I don't know, 5 degrees or something. So it's not like a whole ton, but it's cold, and you're like, oh yeah, that feels good.
So please click on Susan's
Amazon storefront.
affiliate link.
So, but anyways, but Dustin, long time ago, like, we've been getting camping gear for a bit, but he bought these blankets.
They're Rumples.
One from Wise Owl, one from Rumple, but like,
The technology in those is opposite.
right,
You
and
add air in there with the light insulation,
and your body
and
heat,
your body heat, it sucks everything in,
and
that
you're
air
so warm all
That's
night
all I need.
long. Yeah, and it's just a single person blanket, but that was like literally all we needed all night last night, and it got cold.
It's like the
I was
bubble
out
jacket.
running,
Mm-hmm.
and it got down to 29 degrees,
Yeah.
and I slept in shorts with that blanket in my pop-up. And
Damn.
that's it.
That pop-up is really incredible. He's got this pop-up tent that sits on top of his 4Runner.
It's a clamshell.
And we were talking about this earlier, me and Megan. Like, you set that thing up in like 3 minutes. I mean, it's fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's so convenient. And you're up off the ground. And
That's
Away from animals.
Love it.
That's like literally the best, that you're up off the ground and away from like animals. Like we
Yeah.
were in Arkansas and we were hearing like, what was that thing screaming?
murder cats.
No,
Yeah.
it basically was.
Like a puma or something.
No, God dang it! What was it? It wasn't a panther. It was
Cougar?
Mountain lion.
no. They've got something up there,
Tony Tiger.
and the first time we went up there, we were all sitting around the fire, and all of a sudden it
Screaming.
and it screamed in the tree like right behind us,
And it
God
sounded
damn.
like a woman screaming.
to where Matt and I
Wendigo.
both jumped up and drew on it. Like, where is it?
Lynx?
What is it? God dang it! I have to look.
I'm
it
getting
up.
closer,
It's-
right?
Some
It's
kind
okay.
of cat.
But so whatever, but being up off the ground, like,
Big benefit.
so many times has been
Yeah.
a huge benefit.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
I'm
I
a-
love it. I also really like Jeremy and Aaron's setup with the mattresses in the back.
Yeah, they're just sleeping in the back.
Yeah.
They've got the back of their 4Runner open.
Yep.
And it's netted in, and they've got
Yep.
nets over the windows.
Yep.
And yeah, they basically have kind of what you're going on, minus the vertical advantage. And they probably don't have as much space in there, I wouldn't think.
I don't know. No, the clamshell doesn't have a whole ton of space.
It could be about the same because this is the width of the vehicle.
Yeah.
It's got enough space because we've sat up there and played cards.
Oh yeah, we have. Yeah, when it's been bad
I
weather.
played guitar up there.
Yeah. No.
It with an acoustic guitar. So.
Yeah, for real.
Hilarious.
So
that was a really good night.
yeah, it was a really good night. I think
Everybody
we all
got
slept
some
pretty
good
well last
rest.
night. Yeah.
So we got up. I got up early. I started boiling water so we could all have coffee.
Yes.
And I started tearing stuff down. And Megan came out and she's like, "We have plenty of time. What are you doing?"
7:30. I was like,
I was starting to
"Sit
break
down
stuff
and have
down.
Coffee with me.
Right?
A cougar.
A cougar.
Cougar.
It was a cougar?
I said cougar.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got out of there, got everything packed up, cleaned up our campsite, and headed to the gas station. Got filled up.
Love it. Freaking gas station. Broke our hearts.
Yeah.
This trip.
No ice cream sandwiches.
No ice cream sandwiches. The store is closed.
But
Bathrooms are closed.
the pumps were open.
The pumps work.
So that's what we needed today. So we got fueled up and we handed to I always say it wrong. St. Elena
Santa Elena Canyon.
Yeah. And this was a personal request. I'd been talking about it the whole trip. I really wanted Megan to see it because it's my favorite part of the park.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And, you know, like other areas of the park, if you're on this side of the river, you're in the U.S. If you're on the other side, you're in Mexico. And you can go up this massive hike. It's not a long hike, but the elevation is intense. You're going up flights and flights and flights of stone stairs, and it's intense. The view is amazing, and I don't know. What did you think? I mean, was there a better, more scenic, more beautiful part of the park?
I really liked it. I mean, because the canyon goes right down the center. The right was U.S., left was Mexico. And, it was a beach. The water in the Rio Grande
down.
is low.
Yeah.
So you were able to walk out pretty far. There was a lot of dry spots. So I think it would be really pretty if it was full.
So I've got a disappointing story about the Elena Canyon from today.
What?
Were you
What
disappointed
was so
in?
disappointing?
Megan caught on to what we were up to.
I did. It's a little suspicious.
And so
Something's happening here.
I
But
didn't.
were you? Oh, hold on. You were suspicious that something was happening, but
Well, she's been
I've
on
also
high
been
alert.
on high alert all
Shh.
weekend since we've been here.
She might have known that I'd purchased something
what
recently.
put you on high alert?
I'm bad at keeping secrets.
But
We're really bad.
what put you on high alert?
So it was like, oh, we really have to go do this. And like, okay. So we get there. It's like driving all the way down. And then all of a sudden, Susie has a camera. It's like, oh, we're going to try to do this. Like, okay.
So we
it's
make
weird.
our
We
way
don't have
out there.
cameras.
And I'm trying to take little videos, and as we're moving towards, and I'm trying to speak in code to Susie and Dustin as we move down the path, and then we get out there, and Dustin starts snapping the best photographs he's ever taken in his life of us.
Oh, let's go over there. I want to get a picture of you guys.
And then what happened, Dustin?
Well, the plan was this guy sped up the whole process anyway because I was going to do shots of everybody.
Yeah.
Just being in Santa Elena Canyon. But he was like, hurry up. Where do you want us to go? Where do you want us to go? What do you got? Which I get.
I don't remember it like this.
You were a little nervous.
It's nerves.
You were cute.
And you weren't just, rolling with the punches.
It was so
Okay.
cute how you were a little bit nervous.
So I was just like, okay, you guys go first. Then I'll get
Knew it.
Jeremy and Aaron, and started taking pictures, and then you dropped to a knee.
I pulled out the most
And
beautiful engagement ring ever.
It is very beautiful.
It is. It's actually such an interesting setting.
Yeah.
I was like,
You clock someone with that, it's gonna hurt.
I know.
It really is.
I'll cut a bitch.
luckily Megan said yes.
Yeah, God, would have been terrible.
Obviously.
She just took the ring and tossed it into Mexico. So we're getting married.
Yes, we are.
Yep. So instead of
good job.
being co-host Megan, she's fiance Megan, and pretty soon she's gonna be wife Megan.
So this is turning into one of those podcasts.
I'm so excited.
Husband and wife duo that everybody's like, ugh,
Ugh.
Well,
hear about y'all's.
I had
Look,
I had
Dustin,
to.
we want to do a podcast together.
Yeah, but we're not husband and wife.
I know, but
Not yet.
Oh my God!
There's something in the air here.
Well,
in
there
Big
was
Ben.
something that was going to happen this weekend, but someone had to.
Shit, I ruined it. Now you're gonna have to take back that ring. Damn it. That's awful. So that's about it for Big Ben. That was one of the most amazing trips, and Big Ben never lets us down. Other than
The weather.
always having stinky balls.
The weather.
Can't shower.
Yeah. Haven't showered since.
oh, hold on. I have to give Dustin's truck a shout out. Dude bought a shower surround, and it comes with I don't think it came with the basin, but it has a basin and like a little hose
You're talking an
Like
add-on
gray
for
water?
the tent.
for the tent, an add-on for the tent, and
It's like the awning that goes on the side, but instead of it being an awning that pulls out, it is like a privacy room.
yeah.
4-wall privacy room that you can turn into a shower, you can turn into a bathroom, you can turn it into a changing room.
So, but it was awesome to be able to go in there and use because we didn't have shower services, but we had the body shower, cold shower wipes or whatever, and it was awesome. And also a huge shout out to Megan for the bathroom room,
Poop tent.
the poop tent. I was gonna call it something else, but the poop tent. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
She had lighting. She had poo crystals. She had it all.
Poo
Wipes,
gel.
Poo gel.
Gel.
Yeah, just it was excellent. And a shout out to Jeremy for carting everything out.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
was the thing. It's like because our campsite, we weren't in the campground. We were one of the remote spots, and it's primitive camping. So you don't have water, you don't have electric, you don't have access to bathrooms. So unless you want to get in the car and drive, was it like 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah. 15.
Panther Junction to go to the bathroom. I mean, especially for the ladies, just to, go number one. It's like, go squat in the field somewhere. Everyone's watching you. I mean, there's a hiking trail right
Right
at our
there.
campsite,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a lifesaver having that tent, and so like a little privacy tent, and had a little pop-up toilet, and it was perfect.
I used it once, and the view was
Spectacular.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. The view was really
We did.
pretty.
We set it up
there.
so the front of it, we just left it open the whole time, but faced out into the desert and the scenery. You see the mountains and lizards as you're doing your business.
Yep.
I went 4 days without a BM.
What's a BM?
What's a
The heck's a
BM?
BM? For
So-
God's sake.
So I didn't get to like really
Military.
what?
A BM. I went full RoboTuner mode.
Nice. Yeah, that is a RoboTuner statement. I didn't get to enjoy the ambiance because I was worried that I was going to sit down on that toilet and nothing was going to happen, and I was going to have to like call the fucking Coast Guard to come fly me out of there
Why
But
the coast?
we knew how to.
because
We knew
they
how to get
know
it out
the
of
most
you.
about poop. I don't know.
I told y'all what to do.
Yep. We knew how to get it out of you.
This is a family show. You stop it. So
No, but like Andrew said, Big Ben never disappoints, and it was awesome being there and being part of your engagement.
Yeah.
And I just love you guys so much.
Love you.
I love
Did we
you.
get to the end of today?
We're not there
we're not
yet.
there.
Okay,
yet.
I was just wondering.
We were just wrapping up the Big Ben portion.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
All right.
sounded like we were wrapping up everything because
Yeah.
we're hour 5. So
We're getting close. So move us out of the park. Where are we going?
Old Maverick Road.
yeah, when we left Santa Elena Canyon, we separated. You guys went the old way, which is a 43-mile route,
It's a lot.
Yeah.
and
It's a
we
good hour.
12 miles.
Old Maverick Road, which is 12 miles from Santa Elena Canyon straight to the entrance of the park.
The reason again that we did this is because we have the minivan, the rental.
And I
No ground
thinking
clearance.
about it. you guys could have done it if you would have walked up that one part.
Yep.
You would have had to have done it sideways and been crafty about it, but you could have got up it. But it's 12 miles of back road on Old Maverick Road. I've never done it. Wanted to do it. You pass by this old house.
The Huck Hall.
That's like from when? 16,
It was-
1700? Something,
yeah.
something crazy.
Wow, what?
It's still there.
And this Mexican family lived there.
They farmed the land.
They farmed the land there.
They would
when
dam
there
the
was no
water.
water. They would dam the water and build their own irrigation trenches through the fields beside the house. The house is only
4
4.5
feet.
foot tall.
at
4
the
foot?
at the tallest point, like
Yeah.
at the roof ridge.
And it's down. The house is awesome. The roof is just Ocatilla going across. And there used to be, and looking at the old pictures, like palm leaves across there or something.
So it's
More
long.
roof,
It's long. It's maybe like 10 feet wide, maybe, but it's like maybe 30 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in this awesome area
And he
with these mountains.
he had
beside it. It
he
was
and his
so
wife
cool.
had like 10, 12 kids,
Yeah.
and
They all lived in
they all lived in this squat little house. But the way that he built it kept everybody cool inside.
Or you walk in there, like they say in the summer when you walk in there, it's like a 20 to 30 degrees difference.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can go into it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can walk
yeah.
right
We
in.
went into it, and using the Ocotillo, it's all spiked, so it would keep animals out
Yeah.
because it's spiky
What did they, I'm sorry. How did they use the Ocotillo?
as the roof.
Oh wow.
Stacked
Okay.
going like this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was
It
rad.
It was really, really cool.
And if y'all haven't seen Ocotillo, Google that. How do you spell it?
Ocotillo.
So look that up. It is a plant that doesn't belong on this planet.
Oh,
it is
it's
so
gorgeous.
it's pretty,
Like
but it
one
just
growing
looks
at
so
home.
strange.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some more is going to be smuggled back.
Yeah. But like
Believe
it's so I got a photo of it our first night at camp and our first afternoon, and I love that photo, but it's Ocotillo. There's something special.
It's
I don't
wild.
know.
It's
yeah.
First
wild.
time I came down here, I became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is
I've never seen it before.
you get like we're sitting what, about 15 miles from the park,
Mm-hmm.
and I think if you get another 15 miles, it's gone.
Yeah,
Gone.
it doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
It doesn't
Yep.
exist. You
Yeah.
can't find it.
It is I've only ever seen it in this biome.
I tried
Like
to
right
buy
here.
some in Marfa, and they're like, no, it's not up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get it.
Can't get it.
Yeah. So we made our way out of the park, and I mean just outside the park is Study Butte, Terlingua.
Mm-hmm.
And drove into town and stopped at a gas station. Very interesting little gas station. At all of the pumps, there's only 3 or 4 pumps or whatever, but they're all absolutely covered
Top to bottom.
in stickers.
Bands, businesses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of
Podcasts.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
They also introduced that gas station introduced us to Minute Maid Spiked Pina Colada, 13.9%.
delicious.
Oh, it is the brand Minute Maid.
Yeah.
It
it's
is.
I
the
didn't
brand
realize that.
Minute.
Yeah.
These
It's
Wow.
so good.
First time I heard about it.
Yeah.
13%.
First time I've seen it, I was like,
It is a pina
Those sound
colada
good.
flavored wine cocktail. That's probably why the alcohol is so high.
Yeah.
Damn.
it's good.
It's really delicious. It's so good.
So right after that, we made it to what's the name of this damn place?
The summit.
The summit.
The Summit, and we
That's
have
Big Ben.
all got Jeremy and his lady, and then we've all got domes. These cool domes with open tops, and it's just pretty rad.
It's gorgeous, and we all got our first shower in 5 days.
Yes.
It felt so good, and then
Best shower I've had in a long time.
and it was just such a beautiful day. It was like, I don't know, the 80s maybe.
It was hot. It was hot today. Here, it was a lot warmer. It's like 10 degrees warmer here than it was in the park. And
Yeah. But I went up and like before we headed back into Terlingua, because it's kind of between Terlingua and Lajitas.
We're right across from the Lajitas International Airport. That
How is that international?
Oh, dude,
Is it
people
really?
fly in from everywhere.
yeah, and they have charter flights that leave daily from
You saw
Love Field to here.
the Lajitas golf course. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing
Lajitas is
is
a big deal.
nuts.
So they fly a charter flight every day from Love Field to here for people to play golf.
Why
People to come down
the
here.
hell have we been driving?
Once you get here, you don't have a vehicle.
There's
When-
a rental place right up the street.
Once you land here, they shuttle you over to the golf course, which is about 5 miles down the street.
So it's just for the golf course.
No.
Which would explain
The flight,
The golfers
that
at
charter
dinner.
flight, that's
Oh, the charter flights. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
it's for going
Yeah.
to the resort,
Yeah.
which the resort has
Exclusive
a
privileges.
statue from Dallas.
Yes, it does.
I can't remember who it
It's
was.
it's a
a-
the North and the South.
it's
It's
a
a Civil War
Confederate
Confederate soldier on a horse.
on a horse that used to be in Dallas.
At Love Field? That statue?
No. It was a different statue that was in
Oh.
the park in Dallas. And the guys down here bought it and brought it down here to set it up on the golf
Oh
course.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a really very, very beautiful, like out of place golf course. It's extreme.
But back to the
I haven't
back to
I
the
haven't
summit.
seen the course, but I've seen the outside and it doesn't look
last time.
Yeah, we drove through it.
well, we drove through it, but we didn't go like out on the course.
Oh no.
But you
no.
can see most of the
Yeah,
course
yeah.
when you
So
drive by.
so I'm talking about it like I've played the course, but I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
You
It's
seem
just
like
it
a big
from
golfer.
from the parking lot. It looks great. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm terrible at golf.
Big golfer, big fisher.
Oh yeah, big fisher.
So with the domes, each dome has a fire pit and a
Outside
view.
seating area with
Yeah,
a
a
fire
little
pit.
outside seating area. Like
Yeah.
ours is up the hillside a little bit.
You can see a picture of one on my Instagram right now if you go to @plasticdust.
You should go there.
But it's so pretty. And we were going to have a fire tonight, but the wind has picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so-
we're exhausted.
story of our life.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised we're recording right now.
Right? So anyway, bathhouse was having some water pressure issues. But we all got showers, cleaned up, went back into Terlingua because of one of Andrew's other wishes for his birthday was to have dinner at the Starlight Cafe.
Oh yeah, I don't know if we have addressed this. Part of the reason for this trip
Oh yeah.
Don't do it.
was
Don't do it.
for Andrew.
Oh my God.
Big 4-0 birthday, which was on Saturday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
He had a birthday on Saturday. Then he got wild on 420.
Yeah, that was
Killed
me.
the Pope the next morning.
That was Vance. That was JD Vance did that.
No.
We all know.
the signs point to you.
I was in
And
Terlingua.
then
Were you?
engaged with a ring for real 2 days later.
Yep.
Yep.
It's been a wild weekend.
I stole the show this week.
Yeah. Well,
Did.
and
I can't believe you killed the Pope.
That was JD Vance, and we all know that.
it's okay for you to steal the weekend, especially if it's a weekend that you're like, let's all go to Big Bend for my birthday.
Thank y'all
Yep.
so much for
And
being
killed
here.
the Pope.
So Starlight, I'm gonna give some reviews.
All right. Yeah, because
Bathrooms 0, negative
Negative
10.
5.
We are having such issues
Hold
with
on,
bathrooms and
everybody
showers.
All right, we're holding. Go ahead, Dustin.
Standing
the
by.
last few times been out here, we have followed the Anthony Bourdain Trail of Tears.
We have. We
And
really have.
basically just his second to last episode of No Reservation
Was West Texas.
before he died
Far
was West Texas. And I have watched that episode more than I care to disclose.
Like, we'll watch it on our way out here.
Because it's so crazy and it gets you in this weird feeling and you understand what's going on out here. You understand things. You get it. You get what the hardships these people in this part of Texas go through. And we have visited every place he has been except for 2.
Yes.
One of them was the Starlight because it's never open, when we
When
leave
we're
the
here.
park.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're always leaving the park to go somewhere else. This time, since we're actually staying in Terlingua, we got to go to it. Second is the bar that he went to with the little baby goat and the crazy guy
In Marfa.
Marfa, because the bar is never open because apparently that guy has killed someone and disappeared or some shit.
He got a bunch of shit. Yeah.
Tax evasion and then killed someone.
Bunch of shit.
we might never get to that bar.
We may never get to go to the bar because it was closed. Maybe someone else bought it and opened it. We get to go in there.
There was some
That would
talk
be
of that.
Awesome.
There was some talk of that.
And there was last time, and it's been 2 years, so maybe someone else bought it, and maybe the little baby goat will be in there. I don't know.
Somebody ate that goat.
But those are the two places we haven't been. We've been to everywhere else.
So let's just
And
say
the Starlight.
Starlight food was delicious.
It's pretty good.
So good.
It's pretty good. I give it a 3.5
Out of 5?
out of 5. I've got some high bars to meet. So I can't give it a 4.
Okay.
It was really good.
It was good. It was really good.
I know I ordered chicken fried antelope,
Is that what you had?
That's
Yeah.
what he had.
and it was good. Tasted like antelope because I've had an antelope before.
Oh, look at me, big antelope guy.
But I wonder, looking at all the exotic meats that are on their menu,
Yeah.
it made me question. You're in Terlingua. How are you getting all these exotic meats?
They had salmon on the menu.
Pull on them? Yeah. But they had buffalo. They have antelope. They had venison. And, I mean, it makes sense. You can get that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I got the brisket tacos. Delicious. Gigantic, but delicious.
Yeah, we had the brisket chili con queso, and it was so good.
I mean,
An appetizer.
I asked for the chili con queso appetizer. I got just queso.
Oh.
No chili cone.
so I'm with you
I
on
was
this.
wanting a bighorn sheep steak.
Because how do they get all this exotic stuff and they can't even figure out their fucking bathroom
Dude.
situation?
All right, so
0 out of
I got some insight on that.
Okay. I bet, is it going to be an excuse? 'Cause
totally.
There is no
Totally.
excuse.
100% an excuse.
No, well, I don't think what she was telling me was an excuse. She was telling me the truth.
I mean, she was telling you the truth, but still.
I think everybody else was an excuse in there.
Everybody,
about what was
we're,
going on.
we're
That
working
worked.
on it. We're working on it.
We're working on
We got it. We got it.
We know. So she told me, she goes, I went out to pee after we ate before we pulled off. And I'm standing in line, and we're all standing in line. And I make the joke. I was like, oh, we're forming a line here, right? And a local is standing there. And she goes, yeah, you don't want to go on that other one. It's disgusting. Just wait.
That was the
There
one
was another restroom?
There's
There's
two.
two.
Oh, yeah.
I went into that
Back to
the
back.
back one.
Yeah, so we talked about the
And
far
I
one.
had to clean it before I could even hover over the toilet.
It's so bad.
It was so bad.
And then apparently someone, savages go in there and just pee all over everything.
Ugh.
So she's like, yeah, it's disgusting in there, so just hang out here. She's like, I was like, yeah, we kind of complained and said, tried to let them know that they need to come out here and clean it. And
Somebody,
get things fixed
yeah.
up. And she goes, yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Of course not.
Because there's a girl that comes by here at night and cleans them up when she feels like it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And
Unacceptable.
I was like, I guess this is like the only real restroom in Terlingua to use, so that's why everybody's on it. She's like,
And that's the
yeah.
thing.
She's like, this was a mining town, so
What? Well, it's not now.
when all this was built up, nothing had plumbing.
Right. There is no plumbing.
So there is no plumbing
Right.
running everywhere
I get that.
for us to tap into to build other restrooms or to make them
But
better.
it's clearly diffusion of responsibility because there are 2 toilets, 2
Right.
rooms,
And
and everybody on that little strip uses it. The
Yeah.
gift store, and I think there's a bar right there across the street.
yep.
That's not a bar.
Well, whatever. There's a few different places,
That's just
right?
where locals hang out in that little room.
Okay.
But
But-
still,
Which is weird.
somebody,
A lot of people are using it.
somebody who is
It's very
working
weird.
there should be going in and cleaning those bathrooms every couple of hours.
Well, we saw the prices on the menu, right?
right.
Okay.
We know what our bill
Listen.
is. Why can't we have somebody cleaning those toilets?
Dude. So anyway,
This is in Dallas. You're not going to have a guy standing in there handing you paper towels.
I don't
Well, then
need
you
a
don't get
guy-
to charge
I don't
that
need a
much
guy
for-
standing in there doing paper towels, but I need somebody going every couple of hours to clean those
It doesn't
bathrooms.
have to be a Buc-ee's, but maybe
Take
at
out the
least a
garbage
7-Eleven.
overflowing.
Yeah, clean the
toilets.
toilets. Make sure that the paper towels are in stock.
And
Well,
listen,
what they could do, hold on. What they could do is basically raise that building, even though it's the old jail and it's like historic or whatever, and do what they did here.
well, shut that
Build a
fucking
bunch
thing
of
down.
single rooms that are bathrooms on their own, like this is. You got 4 side by side that are all using probably very little plumbing,
Listen,
except for when 2 people want to
I
go
was-
there and take a shower for 45 minutes.
I was in the
Right.
desert, right? I went overseas.
When the sign says
We all had bathrooms.
water is precious in the desert, and then somebody's in there for 45 minutes just taking forever
Yep.
while the
Well,
line forms.
Hey, we were doing everything we could.
I
We
just shaved
showered
my
together
leg.
so that we could conserve water.
Mm-hmm. We
That
heard.
We care about the environment and water.
We heard you guys banging again.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
We
we
heard banging.
We were very quiet.
y'all weren't that quiet.
So listen, you can take
It's very audible.
You can
Even
t-
Jeremy's like, Jesus, come on. We want to get cleaned up.
you can take a shower house. You can make a mobile unit and bring it out to a place like that. I've been deployed. We had them at every base. They're easy.
Yeah.
I have seen
It
those
costs
portable
a little bit of money.
toilet trailers.
But if you're going to expect people to spend 5-star,
I think y'all are
Money.
expecting the infrastructure of Terlingua to be able to handle that.
it's not that big of a deal. We're talking about a mobile unit. They
You
could
bring a
park
mobile
there.
unit, you still have to have a vac truck to come and clean it out, and this city doesn't have. This town doesn't have that.
How do you
Just-
think those get cleaned out?
Seriously, just
A vac
hire
truck has to
somebody
clean those
clean
out.
the bathrooms. Hire somebody.
But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. They don't have a vac truck here to come and clean those.
Somebody is sucking that toilet out. The one they have right now, somebody is coming by and sucking that thing out
That's a real toilet that actually flushed and went down.
Yeah,
into
but
a tank
probably
that
septic,
has to
though.
get sucked out.
A septic tank.
You're going to let those leach into the mines? There are
Okay.
children down there.
Regardless of whether we add
that
restrooms.
was a real tank. That wasn't a place where
Keep
it clean.
truck comes up.
Clean
Yeah.
up your
The
bathroom.
point of contention is keep it clean
It was dirty.
and don't tack on a gratuity.
And by the
If
way,
you're going to
Split
tack on a gratuity, split checks. If you're going to tack on a
That's a
gratuity,
big one.
you have to know that you're not going to get anything more.
if you're looking for a great business venture, it sounds like Study Butte and Terlingua could use a vac truck.
Or somebody to clean their bathrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have friends that live down here. We have friends that come down here and visit a lot. We have a ton of musicians friends that come down here and play a lot. That play in
Facts.
that little bitty church
Mm-hmm.
all the time. That record music videos. That go to the little recording studio out here. And so you kind of get to know the infrastructure of how this town works, and that there is nothing here, and that's the point of it. People come down here because there is fucking nothing here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's no light.
Yeah.
And I know, talking to people that live down here, they're getting pissed off at all of this.
Well, I would
Yeah.
be too.
This stuff
Yeah.
we're staying in, the stuff that's being built, all the new
Those
stuff we saw,
TPs, those
Mhm.
A-frames.
that's killing the town.
It's
And
not
they're
it's not
even-
doing anything for them for sure.
And what they're starting to say is, don't Marfa my Terlingua.
Oh, yeah. I can
Marfa
see that.
was ruined by tourism
Yeah.
and
Well,
people coming
not-
in and setting up businesses
yeah, out of state,
out of state.
rich people.
Hmm. And that's what's
shit,
happening here.
Like
Mhm.
that
Adobe is political.
fucking art thing we drove by. Like, what was
Oh, yeah.
that?
Yeah.
That was all brand new. It's like, that does not belong here
Right.
This is the new Marfa.
at all.
This is the new Marfa.
And
I
they
think
all
it's
hate it
true.
because the point of this town was to disappear
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
and to be somewhere where you just do what
Fade into the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
what you
Yep.
want to do.
And that's exactly right.
And
That's what's
why,
happening.
like, a lot
It's
of our
turning into Marfa.
musician friends that come down here, that's what they come down here for, is to be out here in the middle of nowhere,
Right.
with
Yep.
nothing,
Yep.
and to be
Yep.
inspired by it.
But it's one of the things I think that attracts people. And like the world has changed so much since social media. Like people are more, I feel like more than ever seeking out the the more obscure places to go.
And as soon as they find it,
Yep.
they ruin it.
They
Ruin it.
Marfa it all up.
So anyway, we should start our own little business out here.
I think this town that's right beside us too did it too.
yeah.
When you have a bunch of rich people come in here and build
Sure.
a course
Yep.
and start flying rich people from all over the world
Yep.
into here to play
Hmm
golf at this golf course.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the death knell.
You start, people are down here like, oh, what? You can buy, 20 acres for $15,000? Well, shit.
You know what
Yeah.
they need? They just need one good flood.
I have $100,000 sitting here, so let's just buy up giant sloths of land that mean nothing, and I'll throw domes on it, or I'll throw little houses on it, or
Something with no value.
yeah.
I guess, to the credit of the people of Terlingua, they haven't let all of the tourists fuck up their town.
It's still
It's still
Terlingua.
Terlingua. Yeah.
But I could see, because we've been through Marfa, we've talked to the people there, and the reality of it is, residents from Marfa can't live in Marfa anymore because it got too expensive and they had to move out.
Did Oscar win?
Yep.
Yes.
Oscar won, everybody.
Yes.
Formula Un. A guy named Oscar.
Oscar Piastri.
There, now you know all the name,
Australia.
the whole name.
Who got it? Who got second?
She's dominating right now.
I
A fucking paycheck at the end of it. The way it is. Yeah.
got
All
my
right.
McLaren hat in the car.
Yep.
I think we did good coverage of it. It's time to shut this thing down. I love you guys.
So
Thank
there-
y'all so much for
wait,
doing this with
Why
me.
are you, just hold on.
Uh-oh.
Lay out what's gonna happen with these shows first.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We
yeah.
should do that. We
This
should
is
do that.
Part 1.
Part 1. There's going to be a part 2 and probably a part 3.
Yes.
Yes. Part 2 is gonna pop up. It's gonna be on JJTM.
Are we going to separate them? This one will just be on Fort Worth Roots,
Yeah.
and
we'll do
part 2 will be on JJTM.
spreads. People
Okay.
go listen.
All right.
Part 2 will be on JJTM, and it will be from Marfa
Yep.
either tomorrow or Wednesday night, and it will be.
Should probably do it on our last night so we can cover the whole
It's
thing.
going to be interesting. Well, we got to put the Fort Worth Roots, so maybe tomorrow night.
I'm not Fort Worth Roots.
That's
I mean,
famous.
Fort Worth famous. Sorry,
Those Minute Maids are kicking in, boy.
Dude, no, they're strong.
the rum and all that.
And
drinking.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and we'll probably record it tomorrow. It'll be up, and then there will be a part 3.
Me, Fort Worth famous.
And then, so what you do is you just go to each show and listen to them in parts if it interests you.
Yes.
But I'm just going to put the warning out there. The JJTM episode is going to be weird
It goes hard.
because I want it to be weird.
The truth is out there.
The
Truth is out there.
I am going to get into the weeds and interview some of the people, some of the locals, about the superstitions and the lore
Oh, yeah.
and the
Chupacabra.
Marfa lights,
Oh, my God.
aliens.
Prada.
What is Prada?
What is
Naughty.
art?
What is-
Chinati.
Chinati. Yep.
Hands in pockets, hands in pockets.
What is it? Adobe.
Box.
Adobe is political.
See, we're going to get into it. Adobe is political.
Adobe is political.
There's a lot of people down here that have.
Like Adobe, the software?
Adobe,
No, the
the
building.
the mud.
They,
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
It
they
is
have
political.
either seen or they have been abducted by aliens. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to have.
Look at
lots
my
of
boy
callers.
driving around the track.
But this is a really fun trip. We're going to keep it going.
Yep.
And we want you guys to check out part 2. JJTM releases typically on Tuesdays. And this one won't have a live audience chat room, but usually they do. And you should go check it out. It's the best podcast in North Texas and maybe the whole fucking universe.
It's true.
And then part 3.
Fort
Fort Worth
Worth
famous.
famous. Happy birthday, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us on your birthday trip.
Now we got to get ready for Meg's birthday because that's coming up here in a few days.
Meh.
Where are
The
we going?
30th. We're going to have fun.
We're gonna have to figure it out.
Work that day.
We're
We're gonna throw a party.
This 30th? Like this month?
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Oh.
This should have been.
So we're not going on another trip.
No, maybe next year. Next
Yeah,
year.
next year's her 40th.
Oh
So,
And then where do we go?
Big Ben.
Yellowstone.
Ah, Yellowstone. Hell yeah.
Yellowstone would be awesome. And then
Well,
the year after
it's set in stone.
is somebody's 50th birthday.
Woo! Well, these milestone birthdays just back to back to back.
Yeah.
Vegas hookers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I hear you get blow for free on your 50th.
Blown?
Off a hooker's ass.
Listen, I'm talking cocaine here. Don't be ridiculous.
Don't get it twisted.
I have no interest in that.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for this trip. This has been amazing. I love you guys.
We love you.
Please check out part 2. It's going to be on the JJTM platform, and it is going to be the continuation of this story.
Mm-hmm.
We've got another, 4 days ahead of us?
I think we do. Today's Monday,
5.
right?
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going home.
Yeah, 4 more days of this. Stay tuned.
And then part 3.
And then part 3 with Susie.
Yeah.
I'm saying 4 more days on the trip.
Oh.
But yeah, more
Alright,
recordings
yeah.
come.
Whatever.
It's just numbers. No one cares.
Check out the show notes. We'll keep you posted.
All right.
All right.
Love you, mean it.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that's right. Our co-host Meg, who you've seen pop in and out periodically. I did the thing. I dropped down to one knee in Santa Elena Canyon and asked her to do the thing with me, and she said yes. So we are currently sitting in a safari tent at El Cosmico, a place that I promise you is not as cool as it used to be, and we hope that somebody pulls the stick out of their ass and makes it what it used to be. It was really cool. They've destroyed it. Anyway, we're hoping for better updates. If you are somebody that's involved with El Cosmico, we love you. We're here for you. Do better. Anyway, Marfa, Texas. Go somewhere else. We've got more comments on that. We're going to put out some videos of our experience here. Man, don't Dallas my Fort Worth. Don't Marfa my Terlingua. Growth is inevitable. These things are going to happen, but Jesus Christ, what are you guys doing? Stay on top of the ball, man. We had a wonderful trip, and honestly, we had a lot of fun in Marfa and all the other places. But we want you to listen in on part 2 with the Jerry Jonestown Massacre Podcast and part 3 with the Fort Worth Famous Podcast. We will make sure that there are links in all the show notes so that you know where to find these folks. But these are friends of mine, and we did this 2 years ago. It was magic, and honestly, you can never duplicate something as cool as the first trip down. This experience was totally different for many reasons. So, hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of our trip down to Far West Texas. Oh, hold on. We're getting... this is Andrew with the Fort Worth Roots Podcast. We are recording the outro. You are live. Go ahead.
Right. Just wanted to let you know that the Eagle has landed, and you guys can come over and let us know.
Excellent. Thank you, Susie. Let me finish this outro for part 1, and we'll head on over to the yurt.
Thanks, Boo.
That is Susie Ramone from Fort Worth Famous, and we are going over to the yurt from our safari tent to record the last part of our trip. Anyway, this was fun. Honest to God, we didn't put together like a format. We didn't know how this was going to go. So we've just been running off the cuff the entire time. And it's been great. It's been fun. And for any of you that have been watching the social media trying to figure out, what the hell happened? Because usually we're putting out 4 or 5 videos a day. There hadn't been shit from me in at least 5 days. Maybe 6. Maybe 7. And it's been exhilarating, refreshing. And I think I need to do this at least once a year. You're going to get better content out of me. I'm a little more relaxed, so that's good. But I've also been able to strengthen some bonds with some really good friends inside the same industry, and we're looking at doing some more really cool projects together. So anyway, I have to get over there to the yurt, and Jerry Jonestown Massacre Podcast is on my ass to get this out tomorrow morning. So I'm going to do that in order to get all these things lined up and ready to go. I'm going to forego reading all of our sponsors like I do every week. I want you to support local business, and I want you to check out our local businesses that are making sure we can keep the lights on here at the Fort Worth Roots Podcast. Please go to fortworthroots.com, click that sponsors tab, and see how you can keep Fort Worth dollars in Fort Worth pockets. Also, the River Oak Springfest car show got delayed, and I think we're going to be able to go to that now. More information to follow. I don't have all the details, but if you couldn't make it out on April the 19th, we got good news. You can go. There's time to prepare. So, all right. That's it for this episode, part 1 of our journey down to Far West Texas. We would love to get some feedback from you. You can hit us up, media@fortworthroots.com on our email, and happy to answer any questions, or maybe even get you pre-scheduled for our next trip down to Far West Texas. This was a blast. If you were in Marfa and you heard me talking shit just now, I don't fault any of the residents of Marfa. It is unbelievable what has happened to this community, and it's because of a very sharp increase in tourism that has plagued your community, and holy damn, this place has changed really fast, really quick, and because of tourism and because of people moving in from other states, I won't say which ones, buying up all these properties, it has increased rent for both homes and businesses to the point where people that used to live and thrive in Marfa have had to move out. And they still work here in Marfa, but they can't live here. And that's absolutely tragic. I hate that. Change is inevitable. You can yell at the ocean all you want, but those waves are still going to come. I hate what's happened in Marfa. It's really terrible. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get a lot worse. I don't know. We'll see. Check us out. Part 2, Jerry Jonestown Massacre Podcast, and Part 3 on the Fort Worth Famous Podcast. Thank y'all so much for listening to this. This has been one hell of a journey, and I can't wait to do it again. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. That's the wrong button. Let's try it again. There we go. See you later.